Hi everyone and welcome to my presentation. I'm Chaoma. As you can see on the screen, the paper we are going to discuss is Music SKETCHNET, Controllable Music Generation via Factorized Representations of Pitch and Rhythm. I will start off by introducing the general aim. Then I'll move on to the methods. Finally, I will be looking at the novelty and limitations of this paper. First of all, I'd like to give you an overview of the general aim. As a research area, automatic music generation has a long history of studying and expanding human expression. The use of neural network techniques in automatic music generation tasks has shown promising results in recent years. Prior work supports various forms of conditional music generation. For example, MusicGAN allows users to condition generated results on full-length multitrack music, and DeepBach provides a constrained mechanism that allows users to limit the generated results to match computer styles. Music Transformer supports an accompaniment arrangement from an existing melody track in classical music. However, all these approaches require the user preferences to be defined in terms of complete music tracks. And this paper focuses on the automatic music generation problem, on how to allow users to flexibly and intuitively control the outcome of automatic music generation. So, motivated by the general aims in this paper, firstly, the researchers introduced Sketch VAE, Sketch in Painter, and the Sketch Connector. Secondly, they evaluated SKETCHNET on a standard dataset of Irish folk music by comparing generation results with music implant and selecting the melody with a 4-to-4 time measure. And then they proposed Music SKETCHNET to explore decoupling latent variables in music generation. They generalized the concepts of sketching and patching. The novel training and evaluation methodologies of the sketch connector are also presented. Finally, they demonstrate that the model can successfully incorporate user-specified snippets during the generation process. Up to now, you might be curious about what a music SKETCHNET is. So, to simplify, the proposed Music SKETCHNET is a neural network framework which allows users to specify partial music ideas in terms of incomplete and distinct pitch and rhythm representations. The model is designed to fill the missing part based on the known context and the user's own specification. I would like to discuss in more depth the implications of the Music SKETCHNET pipeline. The Sketch VAE encodes or decodes the music between external music measures and the learned factorized latent representations. The Sketch in Painter predicts music ideas in the form of the latent variables given known context. And the Sketch Connector combines the predictions from Sketch in Painter and uses sketching to generate the final latent variables, which are sent into Sketch VAE decoder to generate music output. The color patterns inside in Painter and the connector correspond to the latent space transform and the completion process in Figure 2. Sketch VAE aims to represent a single music measure as a latent variable Z that encodes rhythm and pitch contour information in separate dimensions. It contains a pitch encoder, a rhythm encoder, and a hierarchical decoder as shown in Figure 4. Rhythm tokens is the upper dashes denote the onset of the note, and the bottom dashes denotes the bold and duration state. And they use the pitch symbols to represent the tokens numbers for better illustration. As shown in Figure 5, sketch in Painter structure, feed the music tokens into the sketch VAE and obtain the latent variable sequences, and feed the sequences into the pitch GRU and the rhythm GRU groups to generate the initial prediction S. Sketch in Painter and the Sketch Connector are two discriminative architecture that in conjunction perform the guided music completion filling in representations for the missing measures conditioned on surrounding context and the user-specified snippets. As Figure 6 depicts that the output of the sketch in Painter is randomly unmasked and fed into a transformer encoder to get the final output. So to evaluate sketch VA independently, the researchers compared the model with two related systems, and to evaluate the general performance, the researchers also conducted some experiments such as the training results and subjective listening test. And the virtual control experiment for the sketch scenario usage. As I mentioned previously, they conducted several experiments to test those models. From Table 1, we can see that SKETCHNET beats all other models for all test sets. The performance improved more for pitch than for rhythm. The accuracy is almost the same between the first and second model. Accuracy is slightly better if we use Sketch in Painter to treat rhythm and pitch independently during generation. Lastly, with the power of transformer encoder and the random unmasking process down in Sketch Connector, we can achieve the best performance by using SKETCHNET, such as shown at the bottom row in Table 1. The average rating for each criteria for all models are shown in Table 2. The subjective evaluation of all three criteria in SKETCHNET are better for those of music in PaintNet. From Table 3, we can see if we sketch song's rhythm into a model, the generation will follow the rhythm with 97.3% accuracy, but has different pitches. In terms of the sketch scenario usage, Figure 7 shows an example of a non-repetition subset melody, where the first and the last two measures are given, and the middle part is generated. The first track is the original melody. The second track is generated with the pitch contour control. The third track is generated with the rhythm control, and the fourth track is controlled with both pitch and the rhythm. We can see that each generated melody follows the control from users and develops music phrases accordingly in the missing part. Moreover, each measure is in line with the past and future measures, even in the case of scale shift. The blue pitch text denote pitch controls, and the pink segments denote rhythm controls. Regarding the novelty of this paper, there are several points I want to highlight. The novel training and the evaluation methodologies, such as atom optimization. And they find the more interesting result is the generation with non-repetition subset. Models cannot merely copy because original melody do not repeat in content. Higher losses in all models in this subset compared to the repetition subset. Intuitively, it means that repetition patterns are essential to those reconstruction tasks. Not necessarily, the expressivity of the generated output would be less. In this paper, however, in my own opinion, there are still some limitations. Even though the framework's application for the music sketching scenario, where users can control the pitch contour and the rhythm of the generated results, there are several possible extensions for this work. Firstly, music elements other than pitch and rhythm can be applied into the music sketching scenario by the latent variable decoupling. Secondly, how to represent the polyphonic music piece in the latent space is another pressing issue. Both are future works that can generalize the model to more applied scenarios. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.